Hello, I am Shupriyo from shupriyopanda.com and welcome to part 1 of RBI Grade B Interview Preparation Series. So what I'll do in this video is just give a brief overview about what this series is going to be so that you have an idea of the things that I'm going to cover and the areas that we are going to go into. So first off, I'll just show you step by step what I'm going to do in this entire series. So first off, I'll just discuss about my own marks. I had appeared for RBI Grade B 2018 and I had gone till the interview stage. So I'll just give you a brief about that portion. Next, I'll just go into how to prepare. So how do you actually prepare for the interview phase of this exam, which is considered as one of the toughest banking exams in India right now? So I'll not go into the entire strategy of the phase 1 and the phase 2 and the other parts of the strategy. However, in this series, I'm just going to focus on the interview portion of the things. And later on, once this is done, I'll definitely make a course and make a series about the entire preparation of the entire exam and everything. After this is done, we are going to go into hot topics. So as all of you who have already appeared for the interview phase will be knowing, that the panel will be asking you many of the things which are considered to be burning issues in the Indian economy or in the international economy. And so these mainly have to do with social issues or financial things and anything that's impacting the world as we know right now. After that, we are going to go into my bio data, that when we are selected for the interview in RBI Grade B, we are asked to submit our bio data and we have to mail it to RBI and also take it with us. And I'll show you exactly what I had filled in so that you have an idea. Your profile might be quite different from mine, but you'll get an idea about how you can go ahead and how you can actually fill up the bio data. So the next thing that we are going to look into is the standard Q&A. So this is the part that's going to cover most of the series, because I'm going to actually discuss all the questions and answers that can be asked to you in the exact interview room. So I'll try my best to cover each and every aspect of all of the questions, and I'll try to keep it neutral to like any profiles, because you know, finance and economic issues and social issues that's asked across the board. And finally, we are going to go with some extra content. So in this portion, I'd like to get some feedback from you regarding what you like about this course, and if you want me to add something, and if you want some knowledge regarding some other topic that might be of interest and might come in handy for the interview. This course, I'll try to keep it a bit future ready. And I've seen that there are a lot of things out in the market and you don't really know what to trust, right? You just don't know, because people have not been through this process that you're going to go into. But I can tell for myself, like I have been in that interview room. I know what it's like, and I found that all of the knowledge, most of it is behind paywalls, and I don't really like it. Knowledge should be free to everybody, and whatever knowledge I have acquired, I'll try to give it to you. I just want to help enrich you in whatever way I can. Whatever small things I know, I'll just try and give it to you. So without further ado, let's start with my marks. So I'll just show you my marks as of like 2018 exam, what I had gotten. As you can see right here in the screen over here, yeah. So this is my marks. Pause it, and if you want to see it, I got some good marks in English, FNM, and also in the interview. However, my ESI marks were quite subpar. And yeah, I was very disappointed, because I'll show you the cutoffs. So this is the RBI 2018 cutoffs, and as you can see, I just missed it by 2.25 marks. So yeah, that was quite some day or week, should I say. It was quite difficult, but life goes on, and you go ahead with everything. And yeah, so that's it about my marks, if you were interested. Now let's jump into how we are going to actually prepare. So I'll just show you, like I've made a list. Okay, so as you can see on the screen right now, The first thing that you need to do is your profile, and the profile is something that's quite important, and it's going to be a very integral part of your preparation, and all of your preparation is going to revolve around your profile. So like there are various kinds of people appearing for this exam. There are BTech students, a lot of them in fact, and there are BA students, BSc students, there are commerce students, people who have completed CA. I've seen them appear for this exam, and you will see like there are n number of profiles. You can even find English graduates, you can find just normal simple arts graduates who have cracked the exam and they're going to the interview room. You have to have a good grasp of your nitty-gritty of your profile, and you have to actually extract whatever is important in your profile that pertains to RBI. So what do I mean by this? So for example, if you are a mechanical engineer, you can be asked a question like, how is your mechanical engineering degree going to be useful in RBI? So it's quite a tricky question, because if you're not prepared for it, you're going to stumble. And so just think about how your profile is going to help with RBI. So recently a student, reached out to me, and she was really nervous about her, profile and how she's going to fit in with RBI. So what I told her is that it's like RBI is like a pond, right? So don't think that only MBA grads or only BTech people are going to get into RBI. That can't be further from the truth. So regardless of your profile, you have a fighting chance. You have to believe in yourself that you are destined for RBI, and just connect your profile with whatever is there out in the market. So people will be, even if you are a simple English graduate, you can actually draft very good policy formulations and the legal aspects of it. For a mechanical engineer, you know about infrastructure, you know about those projects and the policies which are going to just get a brief exposure of the infrastructure section. And so in this way, try and connect your profile with RBI. So if you need any help with this, be free and send me a mail and I'll get back to you. You can also comment down below and I'll just try and help you, whatever you want with that. So the second thing you have to do is you have to go over your RBI Phase 2 syllabus. Now with this, I don't mean that you have to check all the parts of the syllabus. No, that's humanly not possible. So what you have to do is focus more on the F&M part and more on the contemporary parts. Okay, and some of the important things like your just the economic portions, not the social, few of the social things, but most of the economic and the financial aspects of it. So for example, like if somebody asks you regarding the FRBM Act, so you have to know the knowledge about it, right? So if they ask you about the Finance Commission, the 14th Finance Commission, 15th Finance Commission, who are on it, what's the agenda that's going to be discussed, you should be knowing all about those, right? So go over those things. And the third point is similar to this. Whatever CA, the current affairs, whatever you have, just trim it and add to it so that you can be a little bit more in tune with what they're going to ask you. So this will make a little bit more sense as we go into the main crux of this course. So I'll just tell you a lot more about that later on. So hot topics are also there. Even on the day of the interview, this is quite important. Whatever hot topics are there in the news, you have to have a very good idea about all of those things. So just keep your hand on the economic pulse, as we say, and follow newspapers. And for example, there are two important newspapers that I'd like to mention. One is Mint, another is Business Standard. Now I have seen, the RBI panel themselves been following these newspapers. So Business Standard, I think, has a paid subscription. You can avail of it if you want, but it's not that necessary. If you can get hold of the paper, it's well and good. Mint has an app that you can actually check, and Business Standard will also be having that. So be in tune with what's going on, because these people who are taking your interviews, they're going to be reading these things as well. The next thing that I want to talk about is news channels, and this is very important because breaking news and all of the important things that are being discussed in the economy, they'll be covered in these channels. So two of the important Indian ones are CNBC TV 18 and CNN News 18. These are the domestic ones. Okay, so follow one of them. CNBC TV 18 I personally follow, and it's amazing. And for the international section, you can go ahead with BBC World News, or you can go ahead with Al Al Jazeera. So both of them are quite good. And if, for example, if you don't have these news channels, what you can do is you can just go to their YouTube channels. They'll be having a live stream. They'll be having lots of content out there. Go ahead, subscribe to them, and just keep in touch with all of the happenings that's just going on in those news channels. The other thing that you have to do is you have to read books. Now, if you haven't read the books that are important, like there's not that much time right now, correct? You cannot cover everything. So I'll just suggest before your interview, try and read one book or snippets of books. So I'll try and cover some books on this channel itself. So if you want me to cover those books, and if you want that kind of content, please reach out to me and tell me. So for example, some books like I Do What I Do, this is the book by Raghuram Rajan. It's quite damn good for understanding economics and about RBI policy making. Or you can read Who Moved My Interest Rate. This is by D. Subbarao. He was also another or ex-governor. So you can get a lot of fundamentals about the economy and many kinds of knowledge from these books. So that's it about the books. And the next thing that I want you to see are the movies or documentaries. So these are extremely important, because when you are watching the movie, it's just a condensed version of that kind of thing that actually happened over there. So for example, the Inside Job documentary or movie, whatever you call it, it's based on the GFC 2008. So it's quite good, and you'll just be amazed by the kinds of things that happened in the global financial crisis of 2008 once you saw that movie. And The Big Short is also another amazing movie. It's quite funny, and you'll just enjoy it. You'll love it because the big name actors are also there. So another one is The Margin Call, and lots of other financial movies. You can go ahead on Google and search and just check them out. In this way, you can just make preparation fun. Because see, I don't believe that we have to read, these big books that are prescribed in the syllabus or something else like big heavy texts. No, it's not required. Go ahead and watch those videos. Go ahead and watch those movies, those documentaries. You'll love it. And if you're a movie buff, you'll definitely love this. So anyhow, the next thing is the RBI website. So all of the RBI important speeches, the important notifications, and of course the rates, which you'll be knowing already, and the miscellaneous things like the Min Street memos, the financial stability report, and the report on trend and progress of Indian banking. All of these things are quite important. So you don't have to read every part like A to Z of all those things, but you need to have a good knowledge. So few of the things you'll find summarizations out on the internet, and I'll help you with summarizations if you want. So that'll really help you to understand more about what is important to RBI. And finally, the 10th point that I want to mention is the mind of the interview panel. To understand the mind of the interview panel, what you need to think is you have to understand what they are thinking. So what is the chairman going to ask you about? What is the thing that he's most concerned with? The people in the interview panel, mind you, they are big shot people, C-level executives. They sit on the board and they are dealing with policy matters. So they are not going to see a microeconomic aspect usually. So you can't think of small persons, the small aspects that you're dealing with, like you and I are dealing with as we are going through life. So they are looking at things at a more macroeconomic aspect or in a macroeconomic viewpoint. So just seeing from the top view. So try and think how their mind is working, how they are actually asking you to get the information, to think about them. So you'll find a lot of details about these, and I'll also try and tell you more about all of these things once we get into the main course. So yeah, that's it, and these are the important things, and this is how you have to prepare for your interview. And I'm sure that a lot of you have already started preparing for the interview, or many of you are already in the process of preparing for 2020 exam. Stay connected with me and try and subscribe to my channel. I'll try and bring you the best content out there, and everything that you see, there's not gonna be a paywall. What I want you to do is create an impact, help with education, make everybody more aware about the things that I am passionate about, that I know you are also passionate about. So that's it for part 1 of RBI Grade B interview preparation. See you in the next one.